could Jaydin Eierman pull his red shirt? And another one I want to throw in the mix is Nick Suriano. So this is something, it's actually quite funny how it came about, because this comes about from a tweet that Jaydin Eierman threw out, and all he said was essentially, during the match, one of Iowa's matches, Flow Wrestling said, "Is this the best 1-2 punch in college wrestling?" And Eierman said, 1, 2, 3? Question mark. Inferring that maybe he could be pulling his red shirt, his Olympic red shirt. Now, interestingly enough, I had these topics for this show last week, and before this tweet was even sent out, before Flow Wrestling even wrote an article about it, I had this idea that Eierman could be pulling his red shirt. And now, with that being said, I stand even behind that. Now, if you're unfamiliar with why he's redshirting, it's an Olympic redshirt in which an athlete can spend a year training for the Olympics. Now, of course, you have to qualify for that redshirt. There are a couple of different ways to qualify: being a national team member, placing at tournaments like the U.S. Open, or being top 3 in the NCAA. Now, it can be pulled at any time. We saw that happen before. You may be wondering, has that happened before? It has happened before with Kyle Snyder, initially taking that Olympic redshirt year in 2016, pulling it on January 17th, and then winning nationals as well as the Olympics. So he won both of those tournaments in the same year, which does not happen very often. And so the fact that Eierman now tweeted this out, kind of hinting that he could be making a comeback. Now, what weight will he come back at? Most likely it's going to be 141, where he has been in the past. Why would he be pulling his red shirt? Well, he didn't qualify for the Olympic team trials yet because of the tournaments that he's wrestled. His last chance to qualify is the last chance qualifier coming up in a few months, but the other chance that he could qualify is winning nationals. If he wins nationals, he qualifies for the Olympic team trials, which will be big for him, obviously, because then he could have a chance to make the Olympic team. Now, Eierman is a 3-time All-American and has just transferred into Iowa this year. Now, at 141 for Iowa right now is Max Murin, who is in the top 3 currently in the weight class. So the fact that the Eierman could also easily be ranked in that top 3 because of wins last year over Mitch McKee at Nationals, in which he had an 8-5 victory, as well as he win over Dom Demas at Nationals with a 2-zip victory. So, I mean, the other thing about this guy, he's the only college wrestler to defeat Yanni, but with Yanni being out this year, maybe Eierman sees that this could be a chance to win, because, of course, Yanni did end up beating him in the future, now, or I guess after that match. Now, the other guy here that I like to discuss is Nick Suriano. Nick Suriano, now, here's the difference here. And please let me know if you think either of these guys could pull the red shirts. I just thought Suriano was an interesting choice because this year, with a couple guys out at 133, I think that's a big weight where there are a couple Olympic red shirts. Suriano could come back and have a strong second half of the season. He is already qualified for the Olympic team trials by defeating Darian Cruz, Nashon Garrett as well, but he did lose to Vito Arujau of Cornell. Now, of course, he is another guy at 133, but he's out the season taking his Olympic redshirt year. Suriano, 2-time national finalist as well as a national champ last year, first ever for Rutgers, and we could see he's had some strong matches at 141 or 133, with DeSanto, with Rivera, with Philippi, all guys who are top in the weight class. The only guy who he hasn't wrestled is Gross. The only time they wrestled was at the Bill Farrell of this last year, where it was a very close match. The reason I think that he could potentially pull his red shirt is he wasn't top at senior nationals. He wasn't top of the podium. However, he did place and he did qualify for the Olympic team trials, but I think there's a chance that we could see Suriano pull his red shirt, and that's nothing but pure speculation for me. He didn't put out any tweets. He didn't say anything was going on, just like Jaydin Eierman did, but that's just my thoughts on the situation.